Relaxation can be great for reducing overall levels of tension, stress, and general anxiety. But for people with anxiety and fear, the problem is not that you're not relaxing enough. Ironically, if you're trying to relax all the time, that can be a sign of your problem. I'll ask this again. Do people who don't struggle with anxiety just relax a lot more than you do? Are they doing more deep breathing than you to keep their anxiety down? No, probably not. They're just active and living their life. So what's going on with this relaxation stuff? In one study, researchers looked at what is called the relaxation paradox. What the authors point out is that an important piece of the relaxation process, which many misunderstand, is the idea of passivity. In other words, it's crucial to remain passive in one's relationship to whatever comes up. Sometimes during relaxation, you may have something you want to actively attend to give you some kind of anchor, as it were, such as your breath in meditation, or even a certain phrase that you may say in a prayer or in a mantra, or a certain pose if you're stretching or doing yoga, or something visual to focus on. Whatever it may be, there are tons of ways to kind of anchor your attention. But then the idea is that everything else would be attended to only passively. You would just allow it all to kind of wash over you. Or you can go full passive with no attentional anchor to focus on and just allow whatever comes up to come up. However you go about it, the point is that it often doesn't work to try and make any particular thing happen during relaxation, or to judge it as being something aversive to avoid in your experience. It's better to view it all as something benign to be tolerated and simply observed. The benign accepting stance is the one you want to develop. Frequently, you will end up getting the opposite if you try to force an outcome. Again, it's like trying very hard to sleep. That also typically backfires because then you become on alert, and that's counter to sleeping. The same applies for relaxation. Accepting things doesn't mean that you have to like the stuff, and you probably won't sometimes. A lot of your negative thoughts, feelings, etc. will arise. Of course, you may have panic-related thoughts and sensations and feelings within the relaxation. If you see that as a sign of a failure to calm down, then you may likely get even more nervous and worried. Like, this isn't going well, I'm feeling worse, I can't do this, and so on. You're turning it into a performance now, and you're judging yourself as doing poorly. Now you're giving yourself performance anxiety. Just like performance anxiety for sexual problems or for public speaking fears, it's all the same thing. You're putting undue pressure on yourself, and you're actually blocking yourself from reaching the good parts of those activities. And it's understandable because feeling panicked and anxious can be uncomfortable and unpleasant, especially if you haven't built up tolerance to it, and so you want to get rid of it. That's both your natural instinct and your learned response at this point. But that's exactly the misunderstanding of the relaxation process that leads people to be stuck in a pattern where they can't relax, and they're not going to get what they want. It's important in this case to be passive then, to accept. And change is more likely to come once you face and accept what actually is right now, and then you can go to a new place. But running from the current reality keeps you in the same place. So here's the kicker. If you think about it, proper relaxation is very similar to exposure. You have to just let things be. If you go into relax in some way and you start experiencing panic and anxiety, the key, just like with exposure, is to allow these things to be and watch their natural fluctuations as you relax. That might take a while. You might not be calm for a while, and that's okay. Some people give up at this stage because of this very thing, and then they never see the benefits of relaxation either. You'll never be calm if you always get worked up about not being calm. It's another one of those paradoxes around anxiety and fear. Just as with exposure, if you want to relax and be calm, you need to develop some patience, persistence, and determination to allow those experiences to arise and to not fight with them. The best chance of relaxation and the benefits that come with it also require allowing and working through these experiences. If you pop out of a public place every time you get nervous, well, then you won't ever be able to go and enjoy things there. Likewise, if you pop out of your own self every time you want to relax, but you get anxious and then you fight that, you won't ever be able to achieve inner peace. This is a kind of doubly bad and sad situation for people with panic and anxiety to be in, because you're often stuck in between not being able to live a full life on the outside of yourself, nor are you able to be fully at peace within. The lesson then is for relaxation to be about exposure and allowing things to happen, not about force or control or making yourself be calm. An analogy I like a lot is the idea of your mind being like a dirty glass of water. When you've been shaking it up all the time, it's going to be hard to see through. There's going to be stuff swirling around and floating and zigzagging all over. And the way for the water to become clear is not by shaking it more, but just by letting it sit. If you shake it, you're messing up the process. You have to let it be. However long that takes, it's the only way. Therefore, I would urge you to think of relaxation, however you decide to do it, not as a tool to get rid of your panic and anxiety or anything else, but as a chance to work through that in order to gain some different, rewarding experience. Look at it as an approach type thing, where you're going in and you're going to investigate all the different pieces of your experiences, whether it's your thoughts, feelings, emotions, tension in your chest, whatever it may be. You'll also notice some positive things, some relief, a little bit of opening in certain spaces in your body where you feel a little less tense, etc. It's going to be kind of a collage, a mix of things. Go in with that attitude and don't look at it as a thing that you have to go and avoid certain emotions. You've likely been fighting it already, which has built it up as a problem, like shaking the glass of dirty water to try and get it clear. Stop shaking it and do something different. Click the link in the description to find out more.